Hello, my lovelies. Happy Monday. This is going to be our weekly. We are doing messages as collective readings. If that is something that you aren't interested in, I'm sorry for the change in the channel. I've got to start focusing on some things that are better for me, energetically, spiritually, financially. All of those things kind of play into how I record readings, how often I record readings, and all of that good stuff. So, like you, I have bills to pay, and they come due every single month, whether I want them to or not. So I am working on some other projects at this time. One of those being that I'm going to start a podcast. The first episode is going to be about my spiritual awakening, and it's going to be very real and very raw. And I'm not going to leave out details that maybe I would have if I was just talking to, anybody. So I want you guys to understand that this is part of my evolution, is to be seen. There's lots of days that I would like to just be behind the camera and not on camera. And so I hope you understand why I'm changing things on the channel, is to facilitate some of these changes that are taking place. We're in this kind of transition period at this time. There's lots of things that will be energetically shifting over the next 6 or so months into the rest of this year and beyond. And so to facilitate those changes, I also have to make changes. It's part of the plan. So part of that is, not posting as much. I hope that doesn't hurt anybody on the channel that's like, oh, I liked it better when she posted like 50 readings a week. I physically can't do that anymore. I have a chronic illness that I've struggled with for several years at this point, and if I keep it in check, I'm pretty functional. If I don't, and I don't take good care of myself, I don't rest enough, I don't eat right, all of those things, I start to have flare-ups, and so that can put me out of commission for a couple of days. Sometimes it's a couple of weeks, and I'm not willing to sacrifice that going forward anymore. I also want to start to be able to showcase to you the other talents that I actually have. One of those is that I'm a medium, and I feel like YouTube hasn't really even scratched the surface of that. I have showcased that on my TikTok channel, and by the time you see this, TikTok may actually be banned where I live in the United States. We don't know what's happening with that. My focus is shifting to YouTube solely. And so I hope that you guys will stay and continue to be part of this journey with me. I started my channels about 4.5 years ago to be able to help people heal with my spiritual gifts. And so that is my mission work. That's my purpose for still being here. And I'm always taking new bookings for personal readings. My prices are always listed in either the community page or the post tab. So if you're ever curious if I've got specials going or anything like that, the prices are clear and transparent. I'm not trying to hide anything. You won't get sticker shock at the end with me. What you see is what you get. So I offer tarot and I offer mediumship. Don't forget, I have a spiritual gifting course. It is now free and open to everybody who would like to take it. It's 5 videos. So check those things out and see if you get anywhere with any of that. And if you have questions pertaining to any of that, feel free to reach out to me by email. You book a reading by email. That is the only way to book with me. I don't have any other social media besides TikTok and YouTube. And if TikTok does actually go down on January 19th, then it will just be YouTube. So please don't get scammed by anybody reaching out pretending to be me. It does happen from time to time. I am a smaller channel, so hopefully that's not a thing that's happening regularly. But if it does, please report them or block them. I don't ever reach out for a reading. So going forward, all of the readings will be collective unless otherwise stated in the title. If it is going to be a sign-specific reading, it will tell you that in the title. If it says, fire, water, air, and earth, it's for the collective. Last week I posted singles readings, and then we did a separate reading for everybody else. There's a lot changing in the twin flame dynamic for those of you that are on the twin flame journey. So we're going to start showcasing some more of that on the channel. There's a lot of change. And so we're in this kind of uncomfortable transition at the moment. And so I hope you guys will be part of the transition. I always like to think of, evolution and metamorphosis like a butterfly. It started as a caterpillar and it went into its chrysalis and it transformed and it emerges a brand new creation. So we are in the cocoon phase right now, and I feel like by spring we kind of get our footing and we emerge. So let's shake the dust off, let's open those wings, and let's see what this week has for us. All right, Spirit, show my collective, fire, water, air, and earth. What do they need to see this week? What's happening? What's going on? Anything they need to be aware of? What are these changes and transitions that are happening for my collective? Well, it's going to require some strength and courage, right? It takes strength, it takes determination in order to change, but that also opens up new opportunities of wealth and abundance. So I do feel like it's been a rough one. Let's be real here. Last year really kind of sucked for a lot of people, and I feel like we're still just kind of at the tail end of like kicking that crap to the curb. And so I feel like as we are transitioning, as things are changing, I feel like we're going to start to see blessings unfold for us. We're headed into the 5D. We're kind of sitting there, but it's like we dip in between. And it's almost like some of you that are spiritual as well, you'll realize that, you're surrounded by people who haven't evolved. You are surrounded by people who are still stuck in this matrix mentality, and they don't see that things can get better. That is their own personal journey, and we can no longer pull people out of that. They've had the same amount of time as we have to get their crap together and to figure things out and do the work. And if they haven't been working on themselves, then they're stuck in that lower vibration, and there's nothing we can do about it. So we can pray for them. We can, energetically try and help them to ascend, but they also have to be willing to do the work. So if you are one of the chosen few who have been doing the work, who have been courageous, who've been fighting these internal and external battles, and you are shifting and you are progressing, congratulations. Spirit is trying to tell you that you are tapped in, and they want you to continue to do that work. That it's very important that you are grounded. It's very important that you spend time, in your element, whatever that happens to be, fire, water, air, and earth. That you are encompassing all of the knowledge that Spirit is putting out there for you to have. It's all attainable if you put forth the effort and the energy that's required. So nurture the things you want to grow. But it is time to close the door once and for all this week, and to really leave something or someone behind. I feel like part of it is you're shedding the old versions of yourself, and so you no longer wish to carry any of that weight or baggage with you towards the future, and that's exactly what's supposed to happen. So cut the dead weight and leave it behind you. I do feel like money is greatly improving for you this week, and I feel like you're going to be blessed with more if you continue to do the work. So some sort of deception is coming to light. I feel like this also takes tremendous amount of courage to face these fears, or, hiccups for confirmation, or to stand in your authenticity when these things come against you. And I feel like as long as you are truthful, as long as you are not hiding anything, I feel like you're going to be okay. But you have got to make sure that you cut these things off that aren't good for your highest good going forward. And that is what gets you to the 5D. That's what gets you to this whole new world. I feel like if things have been stuck and stagnant, that's going to change. If money's been the obstacle, that's going to fucking change. You are overcoming a lot of obstacles here in the next week or so. You're going to start to see signs of this in your everyday 3D reality. So the world tells us that we're overcoming obstacles. We are going to triumph over these difficulties, and we are finally going towards enlightenment and a new beginning. But we first have to sever ties with what doesn't serve us. Let go of the toxicity, the backstabbing, the betrayal. It's been a nightmare. Let's close that chapter once and for all and get to the good stuff. You're due a victory, especially if you've been doing the work. Know that it is coming for you. There's some sort of, I feel like Some of you could be performing. Maybe you do something that's on stage. You're in the spotlight in some way, shape, or form, publicly being recognized for something that you do. Maybe those of you in my collective that are also healers, maybe there's some sort of work that you've done that's being showcased publicly. Congratulations for your hard work. I do feel like this has been a long time coming for most of us, and I feel like it's going to be crying tears of joy. I've been extra emotional today, so my apologies. I do feel like it's time to really let go of the past, right? We don't want to go backwards. We want to go forwards. And so we're doing the work to evolve. If you're not doing the work to evolve, I feel like Spirit's going to force you out of your comfort zone and make you do the work, because it's the only way that you get the payoff. You're not actually trapped. It's time to see the reality for what it is and face your fears. What are those fears? Is it ego? Is it something that you have the power to change? Or is it out of your control and you need to ask for assistance from the divine to facilitate that change? Regardless of how the change comes about, I feel like the change is necessary in order to get you to this level of success that you've been manifesting. It's part of your spiritual journey to go towards enlightenment. Each one of these stairs on the staircase is another level that you have to overcome challenges, be brave and face your fears, and kind of, surpass the obstacles to get to the good stuff. But once you reach that period of enlightenment, things become much easier. You have the answers that you need. You know where to go to seek the guidance that you have to have in order to facilitate the changes for the better. And that's what we're hoping for, is changes for the better. So what else do we need to see? Don't be resistant to change, but I do feel like you need some really strong boundaries, because let's face it, you're still going to be having to interact with people that haven't evolved. And so you need to protect yourself and your energy at this point. Not everybody gets a free pass or unlimited access to spiritual people going forward. There needs to be this thing where people realize that you don't have access because you haven't done the work. If you choose to do the work, you might gain some access to certain things or people, situations that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. So there are going to be some people that are cut out of your life. There are going to be some situations that are left behind, because it's part of the process of the evolution that we are currently experiencing. So I want to see what kind of signs, symbols, and synchronicities Spirit has to confirm our message. It's kind of a heavy one, but I do feel like it's part of the process. All right. So we are going through our evolution. The Phoenix tells us it's time to transform. It brings a lot of growth, a lot of change, and it is a rebirth. So, like birth pains, those aren't always pleasant, right? It's like you're past the point of no return. You don't have a choice. You have to evolve, or you've got to abandon ship. You might be wearing crystals for some sort of protection. That's something that I feel like could help ground your energy as well. And the dragonfly, another symbol of evolution. There is change ahead. Embrace the change. Go with the flow. Know that it's happening for you, not to you, and embrace it. Go with the flow. Adapt. It's time to transform. We don't want to stay in this yucky energy anyway. We want to get to the good energy. We want to get to our abundance. We want to get to where things are peaceful and loving and balanced and reciprocal. What's wrong with that? Definitely go towards the positive. And the divine feminine, the number 13, could be another confirmation that this message was for you. This is going to be the evolution of the divine feminine. I don't know why my words won't come out today, but it's the evolution of the divine feminine. Lunar cycles could be important when you see this message. Fertility could be something that you're dealing with. Maybe you find out you're expecting. Maybe you've been struggling with that, but I do think that all of those things are going to start to change for the better this year. Okay, what else? What signs, symbols, or synchronicities do they need to see? The feather. You could find a feather in a random place. I feel like that's your angels that are telling you it's time. We have your back. Trust us. We're going to give you the wisdom in order to set yourself free and go into this new beginning. So rest and recharge while you can. Are you depleted or are you recharged? Are you full of energy or are you lacking it? Remember, it's time to take good care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. All of those things have to happen. Start by grounding your energy on a regular basis. Your root chakra could need some love and attention. It's the passion center. It's also, when it's grounded, it brings in success and loyalty. Remember, we have to be grounded in our energy in order to evolve through all of the chakras, through all the energy points. We've got to be able to have all of them in alignment to connect to our higher self and to be able to listen to the guidance. So Spirit's asking you, can you see the perspective from an eagle eye view? Can you see this from a different vantage point? And can you shift your perspective? If you can, I feel like Spirit's going to, kind of drag you out of your comfort zone at just the right time. They're going to help you to evolve. Not all of it is pleasant, but you will get through it with a little bit of help and assistance. Ravens could also be a guidance tool, is what they're telling me. So there could be some prophecy, insight, and transformation that is coming. So if you see a raven in your path, get ready. You're about to either get some downloads or you're gaining some insight. The Eye of Ra. This tells us that we are protected. Could be some masculine energy around you. Could be a spirit guide as well. Could be a human. Somebody who uses a lot of logic and reason. So I feel like this person is somebody who's got their eye on you. They're quite protective of you, whoever this person is, and they would not hesitate to throw hands should they need to, spiritually or otherwise. All right, we're going towards a new beginning, the Alpha. Could be an Alpha that you're dealing with as well. This is the first part in your journey. So while your journey may have started a long time ago, I feel like this is an indication that this is the next step on a new leg of this journey. Remember to ground your energy. It's going to be super important for you going forward. Your money is protected. You are protected. Remember that you need to earth and ground regularly. Any other signs that we need to not ignore, Spirit? Yeah, we've got to release the fear. Your first card was courage. So where are you letting the ego be in control? We want to squash the ego. We want to resonate with love and light energy. We want to operate out of our intuition, not our ego. So false emotions appearing real. You might need some time. So if you have to shut out the world for a little while in order to kind of work on yourself, do that. Some of us are struggling emotionally. We need to do the inner work, the shadow work. We need some time alone in order to actually do that, right? There's nobody in the cocoon with that little caterpillar. The caterpillar is all by itself. It's got source around it, but that cocoon is protecting that caterpillar while it goes through its metamorphosis. You're protected. You are always protected. Know that going forward. You have to let go of the fear. What else do we have? Yeah. Something is making you sick. It could be the company that you keep. It could be, something in your environment. Something is disgusting to you. It gives you the ick. It's repulsing you. There's a reason for that. It's not meant to be in your life. You've got to let it go. No matter what it is, it's something that you have to get rid of. All right, so it's time to take a giant leap forward. I feel like leaps and bounds different. You're going forward in a new direction. This is part of the evolution. You are also headed towards your dream team. A perfect fit and a winning combination. When I made that card, it was supposed to be like Batman and Robin. I can't try to save my life, but it's fine. So I do feel like you are going to make some forward progress. Some of you might be moving. The boat tells us that it's time to explore some new things on our journey of life, and that the lighthouse, how funny, the boat and the lighthouse, there is something that's helping to light your way, to help to guide you, to navigate through life's challenges, ups and downs. So you are being guided. Spirit is always guiding you. And karma, what goes around comes around. I feel like we're due to finally have some forward progress. And for some, it might be really shocking. The Uno reverse, major twists and turns, some sort of turnaround, bringing in a fresh start and a new beginning. I feel like you need to be, I need to be careful about people who are seeking attention. It's not always good attention. Sometimes it can be really negative. If it's something that's not good for you, I feel like Spirit's going to start to remove those things. So we need to allow those things to leave our life and not try and hold on to them and not try and keep them there if it's not good for us. It's literally making us sick. It could be negative energy that's affecting us. It could be that we're developing allergies out of nowhere. It could be that, illnesses come up out of nowhere. It could be physically you're feeling it. It could be emotionally you're feeling it. Let those things go. It's time to transition out of that negative energy. Speaking of timing, in the next 6 months, things really start to change. So this is the month of January. So by June, July, and August, I feel like we really start to see some major changes, right? It can take a while to get there, and sometimes the waiting is the hardest part. Tell me when all of these things start to really change for the ascension process for my collective. Spring, March, April, and May. So 3 to 6 months, well, less than that even, because we're in January. So another like 2 months, things really start to catapult forward, it looks like, all the way through summertime. And then I feel like we anchor in some of these changes that Spirit is ushering in. It is closer than you think, so be prepared. Major changes come sometimes when you least expect it, because it's in divine timing and it's up to God when it happens. So just know that the changes that are taking place internally affect externally, and that these things will happen exactly when they are meant to. Some of them could happen around holidays, any that you celebrate. Let's see, what would be the next one that we have here? St. Patrick's Day, I think, would be the next major. Well, Valentine's Day, and then St. Patrick's Day, Easter. So I do feel like close to spring, a lot of these start to, trickle in. They start to kind of jump ship. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are just letting go of a lot of things in their life that don't serve their highest good. So Spirit says you need a break. Make rest a priority because burnout is very real. Preaching to the choir over here, Spirit. 333, it's time to clear a path and keep going forward. Don't give up. Keep going. And when you reach energetic alignment, that is when things start to really change. So you could be seeing 333 and 777, that this was confirmation that it was for you. Energetic alignment with the universe, blessings, miracles, good luck with money. It's time to thank the universe for your blessings. Have a wonderful week.